Do you think you need all the things in order to make cards? It's simply stamps, ink, and paper. My name is Julia. I'm with Julia Sue's Stamping, where I am passionate about stamping, coloring, paper crafting, making cards, and sharing the fun of how to do all of that with you. I'm from Northeast Ohio, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Are you ready? Let's get this camera down to the work surface and get started. One thing that is really good to have if you're going to do paper crafting is some way to cut your paper. I have a Stampin' Up! Trimmer here. When I first started, I went to one of those big box stores and I bought a very inexpensive, very small, it was an itty bitty tiny little guillotine cutter. A guillotine cutter is one of those, maybe you used to see it at school all the time, where it had a big blade on the side and you just went right down and cut paper. Those are fine. If that's all you can afford, if that's what you want to get, hey, I used one of those for years and it was great. I like the Stampin' Up! Trimmer because there are a lot of good things to it. It has this arm that's is tight in there, obviously, and it swings out, goes all the way to over 17 inches in length, and then clicks into place down here. This holds your paper in place when you are cutting or when you are scoring. It comes with a scoring blade as well as a cutting blade. And right here, what it has out here before you put the arm out is over 6 inches. On this side is a good, oh gosh, I don't even know how much, 1.5, I believe, inches out here. So you can move things over that way. Some people I know like to use it, in my opinion, it would be upside down because they like to use it this direction, feed things in and slide it up and down here. For me, it's this way because being right-handed, it's easier for me to use my right hand this way to cut things. So the stamp set I'm going to be using is the Gorgeously Made. The reason I chose this to show you very simple stamping is it has images and it has some background type of images, so you can have two, as well as sentiments. I like all of that in a stamp set. When I was just beginning, I looked for things that had all of that in it so that I got the most bang for my buck. And that is what this does. I am using early espresso ink today and to show you super easy cards. So trimmer is a really good thing to have. A bone folder is a good thing to have as well to make your creases tight, but you don't have to have it. You can use a pen, you can use your fingernails, you can use something else. You do need adhesive of some sort. Today the adhesive I'm using is this multi-liquid glue, mono liquid glue. You can buy this at a big box craft store, or what I would prefer is Stampin' Up, of course. I really like the tape adhesive, but I'm pretty much out and I don't have a lot of it right now. So I'm going for the glue adhesive. I'm going to take a piece of crumb cake cardstock. I'm going to score it once and cut it once. So half of this 11-inch piece is 5.5. I'm going to score it on that, and then I'm going to turn it. Half of 8.5 is 4.25. So since I have the 8.5 sheet up here, I'm going to cut it now at 4.25. And now I have two card bases, but I only scored once and I cut once. So with the fold, I can use my nails to get it a lot tighter if I want, or I can quickly and easily use a bone folder. Like I have said over and over again, that's up to you. And now, to show you the quick and easy magic of stamping, I have this image from the stamp set, as well as that early espresso ink. I'm going to open it up and pulling in my grid paper in case I need it, inking up the stamp set. I'm going to put it on the cardstock and just do a little bit of stamping. Three times with that image. And now I've got a little bit of the early espresso, which goes with the crumb cake, and the ink, of course, since the ink I got is early espresso. I'm going to cut, I believe I'll make a 1-inch piece here. And my card is how many inches? That's the 4 1/4. So now I'm going to trim it to be 4 1/4. Put that in recycling or save it to use again, that little piece. And now with some liquid glue, I'm going to, and I brush it on there the whole time. Keep the tip of the glue on there the whole time so that I don't use much. Adhere this little strip that I put on. Smooth it down, make sure it's nice and tight on there, and then I'm going to grab the thank you sentiment from that stamp set and simply stamp thank you on there. There we go. So I want to step it up just a tiny bit. Like I said, it does have some artistic elements to it. So I'm grabbing this little piece of, I don't even know what that is, lines. I don't know. I don't know, kind of lines on there. Anyway, that's pretty cool, and I put it on with early espresso onto the early espresso, and you can see it just makes like a little artistic look on there. And guess what? I already have a card that I can send out to somebody. No worries about not having a card on hand. I need to send out a thank you or a birthday or something, and hey, how easy is this? Put it in an envelope and send it out. This is light enough cardstock that I can write a message in here very easily and send out the card. It's that easy. So let's do another one here just to show. And this time I'm going to stamp my big image, and then I'm going to bring in this other artistic type of element, and I'm going to make it lighter, stamping it right behind that bigger image. Just a few times right behind there. Can you see how that shows up there? Once again, I have a little piece of the early espresso I'm going to cut. I'm going to make it 3/4 of an inch, and this is a 4 1/4 inch card width. Again, using the liquid adhesive. Laying it down on there, getting it straight by just eyeballing it, or you can even use the grid paper to make sure, hey, that turned out nice and straight and I didn't even really try. Okay, now we're going to use this again over that brown, the early espresso piece. And let's see, what should the sentiment be this time? I think you're a great friend, because that would be fun for a birthday card, wouldn't it? And now I've got a birthday card I can send to somebody. This saves you gas, it saves you time, you're not headed to the store. You can order all these things online and they are delivered right to your house. Yeah, I like that. I'm an online shopper. I like having things delivered to my house. Now I'm going to step it up a little bit with extra layers. That's all it takes to make it fancier. I've got one of the early espresso pieces I'm going to have be the bottom or the base of the card. Once again, you can have it be portrait or you can have it be landscape. I'm going to stick with the portrait. I have a smaller piece of the crumb cake I'm going to put inside because this is too dark to write on, kind of, don't you think? I mean, you might be able to, but Oh, that poor person getting your card might have a difficult time reading it. I store the liquid glue upside down so that the glue is always at the tip and ready to be used. Smoothing that piece of crumb cake in to the base. Then I've got another piece that I cut to be a 1/2 inch smaller. And I'm going to adhere that to the front of the card. Smoothing it on. Then another layer of the early espresso. And lay that down. You can see how it is just a little bit smaller than the crumb cake, but very nice. Now, this is my last layer, and I'm going to stamp on it before I put it onto here. So again, I am taking this piece, this image, nice big one, and ink it up on the early espresso. And let's see, I think I'll just lay it down right there. And I think this time I'll also get a second one on there just to have it be a little bit different. And now some of the background piece. I stamp it off to make it a little bit of a lighter ink. Okay, random on there, just not, you know, I don't have any rhyme or reason for why I'm putting it on where I am. And then I've got another little bit of the early espresso that I cut to be the same width as, the same length or width as the crumb cake on there. So now to just turn it over, lay it down. Awesome. I think this time I'm going to use this cute little hello to put that on there. That worked. Hello. And now for the adhesive again. Oh, hey, I got enthusiastic and went off it a bit. That's okay. And laying it down right inside that layer. Ooh, that's pretty, and boy does that look fancy. Ooh, I forgot this on the early espresso. It worked just fine. How cool is that? And it looks fancier, easy to write in. All right, so in just these few minutes, I have made, I don't even know how many cards, 3 cards very quickly that are absolutely fantastic to send out using just stamps, ink, and paper. Very simple technique, very simple cards, but they really pack a punch, and anybody would love to get these. That's it. It doesn't get any easier than stamps, ink, and paper. Now, you are going to want a paper cutter. You are going to need an adhesive of some sort, but hey, that's it. Otherwise, just grab some ink, some stamps, some paper, and get started. Have some fun. It's good for you mentally. It's a great activity to do. Now, I will have the list of supplies I used and my online store listed in the description down below. Please be sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I appreciate your support of my small business. Hope you have a fantastic day and that you have a chance to get inky. Bye.